Hello, and welcome. I'll just give a few moments for those of you that are joining me this morning to come into this virtual space. And welcome. So, good morning, and this is our mindfulness moment for December. However, it can be accessed at any point, real time right now, or it will be saved for you at any time to practice when it's available to you. So before I begin, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Kate Landreth, and I'm the education lead with Family Caregivers of BC. And I like to thank you for taking the time today to practice mindfulness. I'd also like to share with you an important survey that is initiated right now by Family Caregivers of BC. And this survey is on the impact of COVID-19 and caregiving. And if you go to our website, on our homepage, there's a very big yellow button. And on that button, you can click it and it will take you to complete that survey. So all the responses are confidential. And if you need support on the online version where you can't do the online version, please call our toll-free number and we're happy to support you to complete the survey. We very much value your time and your input. And the results of the survey will be used to inform our offerings, and it will also be shared with the Ministry of Health and health authorities and community agencies to inform policy decisions and improve existing practices so that caregivers are identified, supported, and included as partners in care. So we thank you for taking the time to do that. All right, let's get mindful. So take a moment now to arrange your body in a way that feels comfortable to you. So you might take a seated position, have your feet grounded on the floor. You could bring your hands to your lap. And again, just making sure that your body is comfortable. That looks different for all of us. Place your hands in a way that your arms and your elbows and your shoulders are relaxed. And next, please start to notice, be aware of your breath, your breathing. You may even take a few deeper breaths, and on your exhale, sigh that breath out. Like a homecoming, really just welcoming yourself in to your body, into this moment. On your next cycle of breath, you might choose to lift your shoulders out, take a breath in. And as you exhale, roll them back and down. You might do that a few times if it feels good in your body. Making any movements that really welcome you. And sometimes we might have a little bit of energy in the morning, so you may even take some gentle movements so that you can be a little bit more still. So at this point, you might choose to sit and breathe and take this time to notice your breath. And that is a beautiful thing, and I highly encourage you to do that. And you might let my voice kind of drift into the backdrop of your practice today. Or you might choose to do more of the insight practice that I'll offer you. I always like to mention that at any point in this practice, if it feels too much for you, you can move your body, you can sigh out of your mouth, you can simply just stop the practice. It's good to know that you're in control. And today's practice is about being aware. So being aware of your thoughts, your surroundings, And also starting to insert moments of self-compassion when we're practicing. Please start by noticing the sounds that you hear around you. So you might be attuning your ears to the sound of my voice. Could be sounds that you hear in your home or your surroundings. And notice as you listen to the sounds around you, if you attach any thoughts or preferences to those sounds. Come back to the flow of your breathing, that rhythm of your breath. In yoga, we call it prana or life force, so it's what keeps us here. Notice your breath coming in and your exhale, your breath going out. And just keep that flow as I speak to you now. Your eyes can be gently closed, or maybe softly gazing at one point. Meditation really tries to teach us to be aware of our sounds, of our sensations, and also of our thoughts. And there is this common misconception that we sit in meditation to get rid of our thoughts. It is the job of the mind to think. However, meditation really teaches us to notice and see thoughts just as thoughts. And sometimes they do not always represent our reality. So if every thought and action form a habit, it's important to consider what thoughts are on repeat in our minds. And we know that not every thought will be positive, that our minds will have worry and anxious thoughts too, because this is a part of the human experience. And it's really important to know that the practice of mindfulness is not to get rid of or shame or disconnect from your feelings or your thoughts, but to really to notice them. You might take a moment to just absorb that and to notice how you've arrived and maybe what thoughts have come with you this morning or during the day that you were practicing. And quite often we get wrapped up in the stories that are associated with certain feelings and thoughts. Or we might completely ignore or suppress or push them aside. Meditation teaches us to be aware of our thoughts. And to consider that what you practice will grow stronger. So today, I'd like you to consider in your mind, you can almost see like a picture of two buckets. And one bucket is suffering thoughts. And the other bucket is well-being thoughts. And Right now, I want you just to be aware of your habitual thoughts right now and maybe what bucket is filling. Maybe you might have an equal balance. Yet the hope is that you just start to be aware. Notice how any worrisome thoughts, they tend to actually prime the mind to expect trouble. The way you direct your attention can actually strengthen anxiety, desire, and resistance, or it could lead to healing and to compassion. So please be curious right now as you relate to your current state of thoughts and emotions. We know that they're always changing. Just as you sit here, consider what patterns keep repeating in your life. So, what thoughts might be coming on replay? As you consider some thoughts that might be filling up one bucket or both buckets, are there certain behaviors or emotions or physical sensations that are attached to maybe a strong thought? Can you just notice that? And you might even place a hand on the body that you're feeling this sensation. It might be on your stomach or your heart, throat. And if these are strong thoughts, or maybe as thoughts that more so fill up that suffering bucket, this is when we start to employ the self-compassion muscle. Then it can start with a simple touch of your hands to a place in your body that feels natural or feels supportive. Taking a deep breath to really just notice. You might even say, oh, this is a suffering thought, or this is what suffering or sadness or anxiety, whatever it might be, this is what it feels like. And with self-compassion, we also consider that this is a common humanity issue, or that many people experience these things, that you're not alone. And quite often in more of the suffering thoughts, we do feel alone. So expanding your awareness that there are many people that might be experiencing this right now, maybe in different forms, different places. And then turning that kindness and love inwards. So, oh, I see you, or I really care for you, and you're talking to yourself. And sometimes it might feel a little silly or scripted, but really, as we practice this, it might feel a little bit more natural. So just trying it on. And really, the aim is to redirect some thoughts or some patterning into more of that well-being thought. And returning back to your breath, really acknowledging your time here. And being able to hold space for both the good, the fulsome emotions that we more enjoy, and also some of the shadow emotions and the emotions that may cause suffering. But knowing that there's space to explore all of them. And quite often our emotions and our thoughts need to be labeled or seen. Then you might notice that they start to move a little bit more quickly, and we might not get caught in certain things for as long. So I invite you to explore your thoughts and be aware of your sensations in your body. And when you do have those sensations that might be overwhelming or leaning more to that suffering bucket, you can take a moment and acknowledge them, and to practice acknowledging the common human experience, and then being really kind to yourself at this time. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I wish you health and happiness right now. And please, if you are needing support, that we have our toll-free care line, caregiver support line that's open all through the holidays. And thank you.